Ever feel like the weight of your home is just too much? That the constant cleaning, the endless dishes, the laundry piles are sucking the joy right out of you? If you're nodding your head right now, you are not alone. A lot of us feel this way, especially when we're stuck in a certain mindset, a mindset that can turn the peaceful task of homemaking into something that feels like a never-ending grind. But what if I told you that there's one habit that you might be doing without even realizing it that is absolutely killing the atmosphere in your home? And it's not about how clean your house is or how perfectly everything is organized. No, it's much deeper than that. It's your attitude, your mindset. And today we're going to talk about how this particular mindset, a grumpy and ungrateful mindset, might be dragging you down and what you can do about it. How often do you find yourself grumbling when it's time to clean? Maybe you feel like you're doing everything for everyone else and no one even notices. Maybe you're caught up in the frustration of the never-ending cycle of chores and you feel unappreciated. The truth is, this mindset isn't just exhausting, it's also contagious. A grumpy attitude can quickly spread through your home, and before you know it, your home feels more like a battleground than a peaceful haven. I remember feeling this way all too well. The mornings would start off with good intentions. Maybe I'd get up early, set my coffee brewing, but by the time I started picking up the mess the children left from the night before, the frustration would set in. Laundry piling up, dishes stacking and crumbs everywhere. It was as though no matter how much I did, it was never enough. And by the time I was halfway through the day, I was in full-blown grumpy mode. The house wasn't even close to being clean, and it felt like it was all my fault. I was angry at the mess, angry at the children for not picking up after themselves, even though they're all under 3, and honestly angry at myself for not being able to stay ahead of it. And it became a pattern. I felt stuck in a negative loop. I realized that my attitude wasn't just affecting my mood, it was affecting my whole family. It was hard to be grateful when I was constantly focusing on what wasn't done. I'd get frustrated when my husband walked in and didn't notice the work I was doing, and when my children didn't seem to appreciate the effort I put into keeping things in order. And I would honestly snap. Why can't they see how hard I'm trying? I'd think. But this only created more tension. It wasn't just the mess that was stressing me out, but my mindset about it. I wasn't seeing the home as a place of opportunity. I was seeing it as a never-ending task. And that shifted everything. I began to realize that my grumpy attitude wasn't helping anyone, least of all me. I spoke to a friend about it one day, and she said something that really stuck with me. She told me it's easy to get stuck in the daily grind and forget why we're doing all of this. We have to be grateful for the little things, and it's not just about the big picture, but also the small moments we have with our family in the middle of all the work. This hit me hard. I had completely forgotten to find joy in the little moments. That's when I decided to shift my perspective. Instead of focusing on what wasn't getting done, I started focusing on the things I was grateful for. I began to see the tasks not as burdens, but as opportunities. Opportunities to care for my family, to nurture the home we live in, to teach my children responsibility, and even to take pride in creating a welcoming environment for everyone. The first step was realizing that my mindset was at the root of the problem. The habit of focusing on the negative wasn't just making me miserable, it was making my home feel negative too. I had to choose to embrace a more positive, grateful perspective. Now every time I clean, I remind myself that this is my choice, my job, and my opportunity to make my home the peaceful haven that my family deserves. I started treating homemaking like a job that I actually chose, not a burden I had to bear. I dressed for the day, focused on making the home feel welcoming, and actually embraced the tasks at hand. And when I did this, I noticed a huge difference in my mood and in the atmosphere at home. One of the most important changes I made was to view my home as my career, not just as a chore. Just like you'd put on a uniform for a professional job, I started getting dressed for my role as a homemaker. I took pride in how I presented myself for the job, and in turn started taking my work more seriously. That shift was huge. It turned every mundane task into a meaningful opportunity. Another mindset shift was realizing that my home is like a canvas. And I began seeing it as a space for creativity and not just chores. It's where I can express love and cultivate memories and nurture the people I care about. The tasks became opportunities to create beauty and warmth and not just check off a list. I also learned the importance of being intentional with my time. I started setting aside time for specific tasks and focused on improving my skills, whether that was meal prepping or organizing. It certainly wasn't about perfection. It was about progress and making the space functional and loving. Finally, I realized that homemaking doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. I let go of the idea that everything had to be spotless all the time. When I embraced imperfection, I actually felt more peace and joy in the process. It took the pressure off and made me feel like I was doing my best, not trying to meet an impossible standard. Most importantly, I stopped letting the tasks get in the way of my relationships. I began to see homemaking not as a solo effort, but as something we all contribute to. When I shifted my focus from the work itself to the relationships it nurtures, everything felt just a little bit lighter. I was doing this for my family, and that gave me a deep sense of purpose. So here's what I want you to think about. What would happen if you took one step today to shift your mindset? What if you embraced the tasks in front of you with gratitude and purpose? You'd be amazed at how different your home could feel in just a few days. But that's not all. In this next video, I'm going to share even more powerful mindsets that will completely transform your home life. You won't want to miss it.